From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a huge night of big money with stocks relatively flat, gasoline getting cheaper, and your forced stimulus check in every U.S. state upwards of $100,000 a person. We'll go over the latest details on that tonight. But the breaking news happening minutes ago for June 27, 2022, it says that the banking industry could suffer 20% layoffs in the next few weeks. Oh boy, here we go. That's why you gotta become a member. Go into this video and subscribe. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday and get that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. The labor situation is going through a series of phases, and the first phases will be layoffs. The ones that will come after that will be then the major surges across the board of the big problems of hiring freezes, and then after that could be the store closures after that point as well. When we're looking at this economy, what you need to know is that there's a series of inflection points. They're not getting better, they're getting worse. And what you need to do is prepare accordingly. And this accordingly, we're going to go over the three phases of this economy. Phase one right now, September, then September to January, and January to 2024. But the financial cliff is likely coming in less than 90 days. That's why you got to become a member today. What's at issue is when you look at that financial cliff, Americans understand, if they're watching this channel, that a financial cliff is less than 90 days away, but Wall Street does not. I'll have the breaking news tonight, as Wall Street admits it does not have embedded the risk in the market of a recession. What? Yes, this is breaking news tonight. Moreover, they do not have agreement on how bad this economy will be in the next 90 days. Ironically, they admit today that they're waiting for the analysis to come in from corporate earnings, and by that point, the economy would be too bad, too late for you to wait to get money. Tonight, we're going to get the big money. We're going to go on to this video, we're going to subscribe. We're going to become a members, we're going to get those big stimulus checks. In this recording, three things are going to go over. First, where this economy is, then where the economy is going, and how to get this big sums of money. It's a big night with a lot of breaking news as a new talk is underway to potentially buy the trading application Robinhood as well. It's June 27th, 2022, and the breaking news from America's most watched financial news in prime time starts right now on evenings. And good evening, everybody. It's a beautiful night across the board. And for June 27th, 2022, the concerns of a financial cliff are still there. A financial cliff, a major warning, was given to us by Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, last week. We'll be looking at what his comments said and what our economy will be doing, and why you got to get those stimulus checks tonight in this recording, state of the second half of this video. First up, we're going to go over where this economy is today, the breaking news tonight, and where the economy's heading, and why that financial cliff will leave millions of Americans literally falling over. The breaking news starts right now. Good evening. How are you? It's a great night here in Southern California. A little bit warm, a little bit on the warm, but the gasoline's cheaper, so you can't have it all. The breaking news tonight is that the financial risks of this economy, some are embedded in the market, some are not. And we learned this just minutes ago today for June 27, 2022. Recession, yes, when? 2023, but analysts disagree about when. Those risks of the recession are not embedded in the market. What? Yes, the market has not put any risk of a downward spiral of this economy 6 months out into the market. Has it put a downward spiral of this economy for phase two? It is not either. Why? Because Wall Street analysts are waiting for corporate earnings. Here's the problem. The corporate earnings are going to come in about 3 to 4 weeks, and then we will be too close for the financial cliff to pivot. What is this financial cliff, and what does it mean? And why is this a warning signal to get stimulus tonight right away? The financial cliff was first revealed between Liz Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, and Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, last week when testifying on Capitol Hill. The banking committee brought Jay Powell in from the Federal Reserve and asked him about his dual mandate. Mr. Chairman, says Liz Warren, do you have a dual mandate? I do, Senator Warren. And what is that dual mandate about? It is to provide maximum employment and also price stability. And maximum employment means people employed and not unemployed, correct? Yes, correct. And price stability also means that people see no more inflation, correct? Correct. Jay Powell, I have a big question for you. This came from Liz Warren. Jay Powell, do you, in the pursuing of reducing inflation, potentially see a risk to sending people to unemployment? I do, Senator Warren. It is a possibility. Jay Powell, do you think there's a possibility that you could be sending this economy into recession and sending it over a financial cliff if you do not get it right? If in chasing that reduction of inflation, you could be actually unemploying people and sending them over a financial cliff? Senator Warren, it is a possibility. Those are the comments, and that was exchanged by Jay Powell and Liz Warren. And if you should not be scared in your socks tonight, you're not listening, because those are scary comments. Jay Powell basically said that if he does not get this right, and in my opinion he's not, most analysts do not believe he's going to get it right, then he could be sending you to a financial cliff. What is a financial cliff? More about that in a second. When would it be happening? He did not say when. This is where it gets fascinating. But tonight, breaking news for June 27th is that Wall Street analysts agree this is not a risk embedded in the market. So the market has not even assessed this risk, no less put it into the market's analysis. Here are what it means for your money starting right now. Americans who watch this channel will be prepared for the financial cliff. They're not going to fall over it. They're going to see it before it happens. Americans who don't watch this channel are going to fall off the financial cliff if they're not watching the market. And let's go over the details of what a financial cliff is right now. Financial cliff is a change of the status quo to something dramatically different overnight or very abruptly so that you do not see it coming and you literally fall over the cliff. Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, yes, just a little bit more serious. Just a little bit more serious. What happens in a financial cliff? Here's the most likely example of what Liz Warren and Jay Powell are talking about. An American would show up to a job and think they had that job that morning on Monday morning. I'm back again. Have a good weekend. I did. Why is the door locked? Because we're laying everyone off. We closed the store. It closed the store, yes. Layoffs would hit overnight, and Americans would be unemployed. Financial cliff would get more severe than that because the Americans think that there's another job waiting for them next door. That business would have closed as well. Business go under, suddenly doors closing. And then the financial cliff gets even worse. Americans may believe that the unemployment stimulus of 2020 is still around. It's not. PUA, if you're an independent contractor, gone. PUC, those extra weeks of benefits if you're an employee, gone. FPUC, those extra add-ons, the $600 per week, gone. And what about small business owners? PPP, gone. EIDL grant, gone. EIDL loan, gone. All those things gone. And here, the financial cliff gets worse. You ready for this financial cliff? It gets very worse, very scary, very quickly. And let's go over the details. Number one, suddenly you don't have a job. You don't have the unemployment stimulus. And guess what you get served with? An eviction notice from the landlord. Guess what? There is no eviction moratorium. Then, if you own a home, you get a notice from the bank. We're foreclosing on you. And there is no foreclosure moratorium either. Even worse, you wake up one morning and look at the electric bill or the gas bill, God forbidness, the gas bill or the heating oil bill in the thick of winter, and suddenly it's up 300 to 400%. You can't afford to pay it, and guess what? They can turn it off. This is not 2020, and that is a financial cliff that Americans will fall off of if they do not know it's coming, if they don't watch this channel, if they don't prepare accordingly, and if they think 2022 is 2020. It is not. That's why you have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state today. You have to become a member. Go right in this video right this second. Don't wait 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 minutes. Don't even wait to the end of the video. Go right now into this video and become a member. Subscribe to this channel and then get that incredible newsletter tonight and start getting money. Over $100,000 per person in every U.S. state. The financial cliff, how do you prepare for it? 3 ways every day on this channel. The first way is know where this economy is every day. It requires you to listen to videos on this channel every day. Number 2, know where the economy is going. Have the projection outward of where it is. And number 3, get lots of money for your family and increase those savings right across the board because you will then be prepared as the situation gets very detangled very quickly. The important thing is, number one, that you get as much stimulus as you can. You raise your savings right across the board tonight. Number two, you remove adjustable rate debt. That is ARDs. For example, car loans, credit card debt, anything that has adjustable rates, because guess what Jay Powell's going to do? At Federal Reserve, my projection is Jay Powell's going to have 3/4 basis point increase in the July FOMC meeting of the Federal Reserve. They're off in August. Then in September, 3/4. In October, 3/4. Then half, and quarter. You're not going to be afford that at all. Next, what you need to know is that this economy is going to change very quickly. Let's look at the data and the projections from tonight. Price of goods are going to go up, recessionary winds are going to pick up, and mortgage rates will pick up as well. In the same next 90 days, consumer confidence will slow, spending slow, income down. Do not expect fast action from Congress. Do not expect gasoline to go lower. Do not expect inflation to go lower. The person who does not watch this channel, the non-viewer of this channel, will repeat certain nonsense, like, when is the Build Back Better Act going to send me a check? If you start a sentence with a when, you're not going to be able to survive the pandemic. You're not going to be able to survive the financial downturn or that major events of September. If you ask how or why, you will. Let's look at the analysis right now. The situation tonight is that the Federal Reserve, Jay Powell, Joe Biden, and the Congress will not be sending you any other money in the next 90 days. And the next 90 days, you need to prepare yourself for the major slump that's about to happen for this economy. The financial crisis is 90 days away, and you need to prepare today, because that money from everyone else is not coming in the next 90 days. I believe that the Build Back Better Act will get passed, but if you're focused on when, well, guess what? It ain't going to pay you in the next 90 days, and that financial crisis is coming in the next 90 days. Now, here's what's also important to note tonight. What's also important to note tonight is that a series of other data points, whether it's auto, housing, storm out to sea, gas prices, or unemployment, you need to know all this data on a regular basis, and we're going to go over that data one at a time, starting right now. Those data points are important because they give you the importance of getting the stimulus, and let's go over each of them starting this moment. First, you need to know where inflation is, where recession is, where's labor. Those are the major three subject matters on this channel, and if you're a member, pull out that worksheet. Those LALATE worksheets debuted last week, and we'll be going over them more in a second, and that is page 1 of the worksheets. And that is inflation, recession, Federal Reserve. Let's go over the breaking news on them tonight. First, on inflation. Inflation, we have no new data today. We're still relying on that inflationary read from the CPI of last month, the May number released in the month of June that came in at a whopping 5.3%. Has inflation peaked? It has not yet peaked. When will we know it peaks? This is an interesting subject, which is brand new tonight. If you rely upon the CPI, we'd have to wait for the next CPI read, which comes in a few days from now. This would be the June number in the month of July. If inflation peaks, are we no longer concerned about inflation? Here's where analysts are disagreeing tonight. Some analysts say yes. Other analysts say, you know what, it could peak and then come down and then go back up. Ooh, boy. Do I agree? No. I'd really like to see it peak and then come back down. And I'd like to see consecutive months down. Let's make it clear. I was the only American broadcaster that said inflation would come in at 8% inflationary benchmark in December 2021, and it did. And it was not temporary, as I predicted as well. Jay Powell said 4 or 3%, so did Wall Street. They had it wrong. They said temporary. They had it wrong. I said it was going to go higher. It has consistently go a little higher. And now as we go in the month of June and into July, it has not peaked. It's got to peak. If it doesn't peak, we have big problems. When you look at the recession, what's the latest update tonight? The update tonight is that Wall Street does not believe that the recession is embedded into the market. What market? Wall Street. That Wall Street has not embedded the risk of a 2-year recession into this market. And tonight, the latest details is that that risk is there. That risk is there, and they've not embedded it. Let me tell you how severe this is, folks. A recession would send the stock market down 48% because a bear market alone only sends it down 27%. We're already down 26, 27% right now. If Wall Street has not embedded into the market a recession and a bear market, then they have not already assessed the risk of going down another 20 plus percent. Scary, very scary. Now, why have they not embedded the risk? I don't know. Not my call, but that is a very scary warning today that if you look at the stock market, it has not embedded the risk of another 20% down, and yet analysts tonight are agreeing upon what I said. Back in spring of this year, I was the only American financial broadcaster saying we're going into recession for 2 years starting next year. Tonight, they admit we are, but they don't have the risk embedded into the market. That's very scary. Now, let's go to the other third element you need to know tonight, and it's labor. Labor, and has major breaking news tonight on many fronts. That major breaking news tonight is that the labor situation is going to hit very badly, very quickly to one of the major industries of this economy, and it's the banking industry. The banking industry is reportedly set to lay off nearly 20% of the major U.S. banks, not talking about tellers, I'm talking about lifetime career professionals, because they had a major hiring growth in the pandemic and after the pandemic, and now they have not delivered on the corporate earnings. Those banks are set to reportedly lay off nearly 20%, as a series of reports say today. The unemployment surges would be exactly what Liz Warren and Jay Powell were talking about earlier in this recording. That would be phase two. And the concern is that it would be very abrupt, very quickly. What have I identified as the stages of unemployment? Stage one, I've identified as layoffs. Stage two, hiring freezes. Stage three, store closures. What stage are we at tonight? We may already be at stage two, because we have seen already hiring freezes where they say, don't apply, we're not hiring anyone. How significant is that? Tesla, Coinbase, other companies like Snap, and other companies continually, day after day, like Netflix yesterday, saying layoffs and hiring freezes. Store closures would be even more dramatic. Store closures would leave people shocked and horrified, because suddenly they would not have a job and their name would be a replacement job, and they would not have that unemployment stimulus. So when you look at that third prong, the labor situation tonight, not good as well. But here's where I get confused when I talk about labor. I think some of these numbers are sort of obvious, and yet analysts cannot agree upon me on something so obvious. Oh boy, what's going on? Let's explain. I would assume you look at a number for unemployment, new unemployment claims per week, and everyone would agree it's not a good number. No, some people look at the number and say it's a great number. What? Let's retract here. Back when the pandemic started in March of 2020, the number of jobless claims, new jobless claims per week was at about 200,000. Shot to 1 million, stayed at 1 million new jobless claims per week for 20 plus weeks. Now we all understand 1 million's bad. We all understood 200,000 is bad, but where is it tonight? It's 230,000, and some people think that's good. Excuse me? What's going on here? And I don't mean just any somebodies. Wall Street analysts, the White House, Janet Yellen, Jay Powell, even Liz Warren. Folks, 230,000 new jobless claims per week is not good. We've known that since the start of this channel on April 25th, 2020. It has grown from 108,000 early this year when it was better economy in February to 229 2 weeks ago, as I had predicted. I predicted 230, came in at 229. And then 227 last week. I predicted 230 again. On the money. What does it take to Wall Street to get spooked by this number? What does it take for Jay Powell to get spooked by this number? You know, it's really hard to gauge these people's sentiments, because I think 230 is a horrible number and they think it's a good number. But I think a 260 would spook them. And I think it would certainly spook Liz Warren. But tonight they're not spooked with 230. I am. I'm not happy with that number. I think it's a big problem. And I think the big problem is that Americans who have a job think they're going to have this job tomorrow. They think they can get another job. They think they can get a salary raise. They think they can get a bonus. They think there's unemployment stimulus. They think they could live on the unemployment stimulus. And yes, still to this day, there are analysts running that ridiculous fake narrative that people are still living on their unemployment stimulus from 2 years ago. It's in the bank and it's funding their entire livelihood. Ridiculousness. It's just ridiculousness. Now, here are the other three elements you need to know tonight. They are housing, They are stocks and they are retail sales. These are three elements of this economy you need to know because they are three parts of the economy that are telling us where we're heading and giving us guidance how close that financial cliff is as well. When we look at this data, it is reoccurring data. It's almost on a daily, if not weekly basis. In the case of inflation, it's a monthly number usually. The recession, it is GDP, it's mostly monthly. And when we look at unemployment, it is a weekly, if not monthly, if we look at the job creation number. But when we head over to housing, retail sales, and stocks, it's a daily number. And let's look at the daily numbers tonight for June 27th, 2022 for stocks. Stocks are a little bit up tonight and a little bit flat. Yes, last trading day as well. Has Wall Street found the bottom? It has not found the bottom. And what some Wall Street analysts say, this is the bottom. They're just getting you in for a trade. More about them in a second. Number two, what is happening with the retail sales? On the retail sales front, they've generally not been any more robust than they were before. And my concern tonight is that Wall Street analysts admit they're waiting for the corporate earnings for Q2 to be released second quarter of this year in about 2 weeks, and that they have no opinion until that data is released. I'm worried. If they have to wait for the corporate earnings to come out, they're going to get blindsided. That's what happened earlier last month. Remember, you were watching this channel. Remember how shocking the announcement was from Walmart or Target? No one saw it coming. They got blindsided, and then everyone started to panic. Folks, you can't do that. You can't wait around for the retail sales numbers. So how do we prepare? How do we as a family prepare? If you're in the store, just pay more attention. Less employees in the stores, pay attention. Make a mental note. If you see it, it's before I report it. If you're in the live chat right now, write more or less. Are there more employees in the store or less? Next, if you are in the store and you see the price of goods, milk and eggs, about the same in last month, say about the same. If it's more, say more. If it's less, then say less. I've seen the price of goods in the store about the same in the last month. I've seen the number of employees in the stores dramatically down. Then when we go over to the situation on gasoline, a lot of confusion on that front as well tonight. But that is why you learn to earn on this channel. And if you don't learn, you burn. In the second half of this video, we're going to get those 4 stimulus checks in every USA. You need to get those checks across the board as quickly as possible. And to ease you into getting those checks, to help you in getting those checks, we launched the LALATE worksheets. Did you get your worksheets? They're very exciting. Viewers are very excited for these. These LALATE worksheets are the only ones in the industry. In fact, the LALATE membership newsletter was the first one in the financial news industry. But these worksheets, no one's ever seen anything like it, and viewers are adoring it. Let's go over these worksheets. If you've not gotten them, get them right tonight. First, how do you get them? They are in the membership newsletter. They're almost the second line of the membership newsletter. It says new LALATE member worksheets. You click the link, it sends you to a PDF, and then you open it off. If you have a printer, you print it out and you take notes. If you don't have a printer, then you can recreate it on a piece of paper yourself. It's divided upon the subject matters that we have on the recordings. The purpose of the worksheets, very simple. For you to learn to earn. For you to take notes on the major subject matters that impact you and your household so you know where this economy is coming and you prepare not to fall off that financial cliff. Page 1 of the LALATE worksheets, it's 5 pages in length, is a space to take notes on inflation. We just went over that. Recession, labor, and the Federal Reserve. We just went over that as well. Page 2 is notes to take on your 4th stimulus. Based upon how I teach on this channel, it shows you how to keep track of when you applied, what you applied for, how many months they paid for, and most importantly, who is the person you spoke to. Their name and their contact is very important because it's the inherent relationship you're establishing that'll be solidified in use in future months when you go back and ask for more money. The next page is a very helpful page. No one has ever done anything like this. This is a grid for you to keep track on the potential raises of your benefits. This is for stimulus. If benefits go up 8%, then how much would your benefits go up? 8%. So let's say you make $500 a month. 8% is about $40 more per month. There you go. But if benefits went up 10%, that would be $50 more per month. You can have a grid and take notes along with me, and we could do the analysis together. The next page is the gasoline, 6 stimulus. And the final page is student loan debt forgiveness, 7 stimulus, to which we're going to go over right now. The President of the United States is set to make a major announcement for student loan debt forgiveness, and this will be the final one. I've been predicting this for a very long time, and I think I'm going to get it right on the money, and I think I'm even going to get the day to the point. The President of the United States is set to make a major announcement for student loan debt forgiveness, the final chapter of this equation. And the announcement is likely to be, drumroll, $10,000. $10,000 for federal student loan debt forgiveness for individuals who make $150,000 or less per year. The president's set to make that announcement in the next 90 days. I believe he's going to make the announcement before Congress goes on recess in August, late August, so that they can be there for the signing of it into executive order law. What year for the $150,000? Not particularly clear. And this would culminate years of negotiations and years of advocacy. The president previously forgave student loan debts for individuals who became disabled after graduation, people who went to work in the nonprofit and public sector, people whose debts were procured by fraud, and people whose debts were the result of improprieties by the university against them. The announcement is just days away. Now, what about that gasoline? And what about those gas prices? And what about the raising up of your benefits by the Social Security Administration? We're going to have all that coming up later in this recording. But next up is that forced stimulus check. That forced stimulus checks, I should say, plural, are in every U.S. state. $100,000, over $100,000 per person. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it, and more. Quadruple mandate, more about that in a second. First, how do we find these checks? Why do these checks happen? Back in the month of March, my wonderful viewers did exactly what I taught them to do. Look for checks during good times and get as many checks as possible. But these were not then available. And viewers said in the month of March, LA, they haven't gotten that Build Back Better Act done. It's a good time. Can you find us stimulus checks while it's a good time before it gets bad? Because I don't want to wait around for that Build Back Better Act. And they said, go get it right now. And I did. I found a series of checks and gave them a lettering system, A, B, and C, and subsequent thereafter. More importantly, I focused on a quadruple mandate for this channel. Number one, make sure the checks are big checks. Over $100,000 a person of stimulus checks coming up in just a second. I need to get you through these phases of the economy. I need you to get through that September. I need you to survive the recession. So the bigger the check, the better. Number two, eligibility. As a longtime viewer, Kat says you make this very clear and you're focused so intently on eligibility. I am. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, if you're not on benefits, if you're children, if you don't have children, if you're married, if you're single, if you're on SSI or SSDI, go get them. Number three, the third mandate. Make it simple. This is what Carol says. LA, you make it so simple. You take all these incredible programs, put them together, and put them in a concise newsletter, the only one of its kind in the nation, and all that people have to do is push, 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 call, call, call. You've done all the work for you. God bless. Thank you, Carol, for those nice comments. And finally, number four, ensure the motivation of the viewer so they understand to give money today, tomorrow, and thereafter. We're going to meet Lorraine, Margaret, Johnny, and Mark in just a second. Finally, another side note. Did you see the show earlier today? Did you see the Mornings LA? The Mornings LA talked about another homeowner stimulus. Is it a check-e? It's sort of like a check-e, but not. Sort of like a check-e, but not. Did you see it? Oh, you didn't? Well, that's why you can't miss a single video on this channel, because there is so much breaking news on a single day. We had a major potential buyout of a major corporation just minutes ago on the afternoon show. There's breaking news on the hour, by the hour, and the content of this channel will not repeat generally. So you got to watch the shows throughout the day. But the first stimulus checks, they're coming up in the second half of this video. Do yourself 3 favors. 1, subscribe right now to this channel. Go right on this video and subscribe. Number 2, hit that little bell to make sure your notifications set to all on. And number 3, become a member. Become a member of the number 3 most watched financial news channel in America, heading to number 2. Go into the video where it says join this channel. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Then stay the second half of this video as we go over these incredible checks and get this big forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page. As America's most watched show for financial news in prime time continues, I'll see you back in 60 seconds. As Evenings LA continues this beautiful night from Santa Monica, California. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on a beautiful June 27, 2022. From the shores of Santa Monica, California. Hope you're having a beautiful day across the land. It's a little bit warmer tonight here in Southern California, but hope you're doing well. In this big second half, we're going to go over those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Did you become a member today? I hope you did. You need to become a member and stay a member because these big stimulus checks are here and you need to know where this economy is going. Go right into this video and join the channel right now. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thousands of members of this channel you become today. Hundreds of thousands of subscribers as well. And get those incredible stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Let's go over these big stimulus checks starting right now. Remember, the eligibility is there. Just you have to go get the money. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get them. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get them. Rent or own children without children, single young, go get them. Let's get these checks starting with the very first one. It's a Check A. It's a Check A. And that wonderful Check A is $6,500 to $12,000. A 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How do you get that incredible check? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, go under the video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Become a member right now. Join the channel. Then in that membership newsletter, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, go right down to Check A. You found it. There it is. How are you? There you are. And you click the link. You go into the nationwide website. You choose your state. You choose the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. I'll explain the newsletter. And you pounce. And you get it. $6,500 to $12,000. Wow. Not going to stop there yet. $15,000 to $80,000 Check Bs. Average view of this channel is tracking at $66,000 to $80,000. It's a 4 stimulus check in every U.S. state. You go get it. Single individual, $75,000 less. Go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less. Go get it. It's called the Homeowners Grant Check. How do you get this incredible check? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Go right on this video and join this channel. Hundreds of viewers do daily. You do it right today. See all the people who are emojis behind their name of Purple Hawks in the live chat? They are members just like you. You get this incredible newsletter and you go down to Check B. It'll tell you in Check B the details of what it's about and has the link to apply. How simple is that? As Carol said, you make it so simple. You organize it all for them. You can find that Check B. You click the link. You go into the nationwide website. You choose your state, and you apply. You're not done there yet. You can go to Check C. Check C is for my renters and homeowners. It's generally a monthly stimulus check, MSC, $2,000 a month. Direct deposit, baby. But many viewers have gone a lot more. Some viewers have gotten over $200,000. Average view of this channel has got to $45,000. It started on this channel as purple, then became third stimulus, and now I call it Check C. It's been on this channel for nearly 2 years. I've gotten viewers over $50 million from this channel. It's what I know how to do and what we've been doing. Let's look at the success stories you have delivered. Do you want $20,000 to $30,000 for rent? Then go get Check C. How about $15,000 for utilities? Then go get check C. $25,000 a year over 10 years for SNAP? Wow. Combinations. Do you want multiple checks? Go get check C's. Let's look at Nisi, Mark, Lorraine, Johnny, starting right now. Nisi has gone from 20,000 to nearly 50,000. Why? Because she keeps on getting checks. Johnny went from 45,000 to 80,000 in 2 days. He then turned around and got $50,000 for his 2 family members and $300,000 for his neighbors, his community neighbors. There's over a couple dozen people. Mark went from 32,000 to over $166,000. He went to 50, then he went to 100, then he got check B at 66,000. He's at 166,000. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's nearly 150. 150,000. Folks, this is learning to earning. And people who don't are going to be burning. Absolutely need to get this money. Lorraine inspired the worksheets. She inspired the worksheets because last week she was in live chat on the Evenings LALATE, this show, and she said, LALATE, I brought to your recordings my notes in a binder. And the binder is now full. You've been so informational and so educational. I've been taking a lot of notes. The whole binder's full. And I thought to myself, why not have worksheets for everyone else to take notes like Lorraine is taking notes? That's the worksheets. Worksheets, 5 pieces of paper in 1 PDF that gives you space to take notes on the subject matters covered on this channel on a daily basis. So you can keep them organized how like I keep them on organized with my notes on sets. So you'll know where this economy is, where it's going, and how to prepare your family accordingly. What's important to know is that the LA worksheets are more important now than ever before. And why do we know that tonight? Because a lot of the analysts tonight are going after other analysts in their reporting. What's going on? Analysts are unhappy with other analysts who are trying to really profit on the events of the moment by doing a transactional analysis. Let me explain what's going on. If you are in the housing industry and you're not buying or selling, the real estate broker, the builder, and the home seller are not making money. If you're in the stock market and you're not buying or selling stocks, then the brokerage firm is not making money. And so what's the tensions tonight? The tensions tonight is some analysts are saying, this is the bottom of the stock market. Come on and buy. Other analysts are saying, you're just trying to get people to buy because you have no revenue, you have no transactional activity. You're trying to get people to buy in a bear market when people should be staying away from buying or selling stocks. Same situation for housing. I've been critical of the home builders, the realtors, the people trying to flip homes and say, it's a great market, come and buy my home. No, it's about to bust the market. It's about to implode the market. You don't want to be buying a home in the height of the market. It's about to go down dramatically. So don't be buying a home, and people are not selling homes that are smart because they're not going to get the price that they want that they could have gotten last year. And they may not even find another home because the market is falling dramatically. And they also understand the mortgage rates are out of control. So what's important to know is that you need these worksheets even more than ever because I deliver you the economic news of today. I give you my analysis of where the economy is going. But if you're educated and you're taking notes, you can do the analysis yourself as well. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you look at the same data points I give you. I looked at the CPI, I looked at the unemployment, I looked at the labor. I sort of disagree with you, Ally. And this is why I believe this is the situation. That's great. That's what we talked about earlier today on Afternoon's LALATE. A viewer who asks when, the sentence starts with the question when, or the word when. When is, you stop them. You just merely stop them. You say, you're not here to learn. You're just here to collect. When is? No. There's no learning in that sentence. You're just asking when money is landing in your wallet. You're going to burn. You're going to burn badly. How is, I want to hear this guy. I want to hear that gal. She knows exactly what she's getting at. How is gas prices impacting the CPI? Or someone who starts a sentence with why. Why is the president not getting gas prices down by going and buying some gasoline? I love that type of viewer. Anyone who asks the how or the why is here to learn. Anyone who starts a sentence with the question mark, when, it's going to burn. Because they think the federal government is going to bail them out in this case of recession. They're not. Federal government is not going to bail you out in the case of recession. They think that all the wonderful stimulus of 2020 is coming back. It ain't coming back. PUC, FPUC, LWA, EIDL grant, all those items are never, ever coming back. They think the Build Back Better Act will save them in the case of a financial cliff. No, Build Back Better Act is going to get done, but won't get into your wallet in time for that financial cliff. And they believe there's another job next door for them. They believe a lot of unusual stuff. And what's difficult for them, for me, is that they're out there and I still try to bring them over to the good side. But they're still on the dark side with Darth Vader. And if they want to stay there, then they're gonna burn. There's no other way to say about it. Ultimately, I can help you and welcome all the wonderful new viewers daily, the new subscribers daily, the new members daily. And let's go over to gasoline. Gasoline is a little bit confusing for some viewers, especially confusing for Americans, as you look at the gas numbers on the last 7 days as they've come down. And you may be wondering, there's a purple hawk flying up above. What's going on with the gasoline? Why is it suddenly coming down? Is there a deal? And why is gasoline coming down? That is the why question, and that's the why type of question I want. The gasoline is not coming down because there's a deal. It's just coming down. It's coming down, and it's not going to stay down. Let me explain what's going on with gasoline tonight. In the gasoline story tonight is that there's a lot of volatility in the trading of gasoline. And the trading of gasoline, it goes up, it goes down, it goes flat, it goes left. But for the month to date, gasoline's still up 38 cents, 35 cents approximately. It's down about 10 cents in the last 7 days. So it ain't going to fall 20 cents by the end of the month. That means that the CPI read for this month will be higher than the prior month. That is an important point to be made. Remember, the Consumer Price Index number is composed of price of goods at the supermarket and the gasoline. If the gasoline stays high, the CPI stays high, and we go into recession. So the fact that the gasoline has come down about 10 cents in the last 7 days, okay, but we're still up for the month. Will the gasoline be going down, or is this just going to be a continuing narrative that it stays high and doesn't come down at all? My projections are the gasoline is going to track at $10 a gallon. It's going to head to 10. It's not going to be there initially. It's going to take a little while, but it's going to head to 10. Wall Street believes it's going to head to 185, and 185 is a big trouble. Tonight it's about 113. It's come down from 120 about 7, 8, 9 days ago, but it hasn't come down because there's a deal. There is no deal. And the White House hasn't pursued a deal. In fact, the White House has never pursued a deal. And as the White House continues to not pursue a deal, as the Western allies continue to not get a deal, the situation across the board is that the money will continue to go in the wrong direction. Here's what you need to know about this tonight, starting right now. If you do not get a deal on gasoline, we go in recession. We go in recession. Gasoline works the following way. If there's a shortage of gasoline prices go up. The only way to reduce gasoline is to get the gasoline replaced. You have a shortage of gasoline? Go get some gasoline. Where? 5 countries. More about those 5 countries in a second. Does raising interest rates at the Federal Reserve bring gasoline down? No, it does not. The president saying that he's released 1 million barrels of gasoline per day from the strategic reserves of the United States government. That's gasoline the United States government owns. Releasing 1 million a day. Is that enough to replace the missing gasoline? No. It's not even 30%. Number 4, the oil executives are to blame for the problem. No, they don't have 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing per day in the ground for you. It doesn't exist in U.S. soil. Number 5, the proposal of a 18-cent gas tax holiday would solve the situation, or at least, quote, give a little breathing room to the American working people. It doesn't give any oxygen whatsoever. 18 cents is about $1.80. The average gas tank in a car is 10 gallons. 18 cents times 10 gallons is $1.80. You're paying $65, $75 to fill up the gas tank if it's 10 gallons in the car. $1.80 ain't going to give anyone breathing room. So how do you get the gasoline solved? You go buy gasoline. Is the White House doing it? No. Is the Western allies doing it? No. And as they continue to not do it, it's just a fait accompli. We're going into recession. The White House needs to go to those 6 countries to get gasoline, and the White House has never said it would. The White House has never even identified this as a solution. And the White House keeps on talking about things that are not solutions. And let's be very frank, the Western allies have done the same. They have never identified the solution. All they've talked about is sort of a mishmash of things. In certain states, they're talking about gas refund checks. Great. $200 in one state and $300 in another state. Wonderful. That's one gas pump at the gas station or two gas pumps. That ain't going to solve it across the board. What happens with gasoline is that as you don't solve it with 3.5 million barrels of gasoline per day, you continue to go higher. And what goes higher? Let's recap. As gasoline goes higher, the CPI goes higher, and the Federal Reserve will continue to raise rates. And you're going into a recession. Now, as gasoline goes higher, you get a benefit of this somewhere else, ironically. Where's that benefit? In your benefits. Yes, your benefits check will go up if gasoline continues to go up. And let me tell you why. Your benefits are based upon a benchmark. That benchmark is COLA. COLA, C-O-L-A, is determined based upon a sub-benchmark, CPI-W. Oh, sound familiar, doesn't it? Yes, it's a subsection of CPI. CPI, as we know earlier in this recording, is composed of price of goods in the supermarket and gasoline. Well, if gasoline goes up, then the CPI-W goes up. Pretty simple, right? Yes. In the month of June, we had the CPI-W number released for the month of May. And it showed it went up because gasoline went up. Pretty easy, yes. Social Security, the Social Security's chief actuary, Steve Goss, said, looking at that number, I believe that your COLA benefits will go up about 8%. Your benefits will go up at about 8%. What is he doing? He's looking at the May number to extrapolate or predict what's happening on July, August, and September's number. Why those numbers? Your CPI-W is dependent upon the events of July, August, and September. If the July, August, and September numbers for CPI remain high because gasoline does not go down, then Goss has undervalued it. Here's my analysis starting right now. I believe that the White House is not going to get a deal on gasoline anytime between this month and July, or August, or September, or even the Western Allies. And if there is no deal, then the gasoline prices go higher. Pretty simple, yes. If the gasoline prices go higher, then what also goes higher? The CPI-W. And the CPI-W goes higher, then July, August, September rolls in, and it's even higher than we thought it would happen based upon the May data. That's why I'm projecting that your benefits are not going to go up 8%. They're going to go up likely closer to 9%. Seniors League, a nonprofit organization, says 8.6%. 8% is about $300 more per month. Yes, congratulations. SS300. Congratulations. But we will see the actual number for your benefits going up and where they're going up in the month of July. We'll see that number in July and August, September based upon the July, August, September reads. And if that's the case, you could be seeing more than $300 per month. Wow. Great news across the board. And there you go. In a night in which there's so much to digest and so much to learn, to earn, it's important to understand the significance of getting money. It's important to understand that you are a group of people that wish to distance yourself from people who don't want to learn, who don't want to earn, and simply think that the federal government will bail them out. The federal government is not going to take care of you in the case of recession. The federal government is not going to take care of you in the case of an inflation. The federal government is not going to take care of you in the next 90 days. And the federal government is not going to take care of you if there's a financial cliff. Moreover, we've never heard from the federal government that they're going to take care of you with unemployment stimulus or rent or mortgage forbearance like we saw during the pandemic. And with all that and a recession coming, why would you not become a member? Why would you not get a forced stimulus check that is in every U.S. state tonight? Why would you wait around to get the money available today when the future is so severe, when the downward spiral of this economy is confirmed, while the magnitude is not agreed upon among analysts, but the future is? Why would you wait to get a membership today? Go right in this video and become a member. Get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. And then get those worksheets in the newsletter. Print them out or open them up and write them down and take notes when you watch a video. Finally, personal note. So happy so many of you tuned in on the weekend. There's a lot of breaking news on a single day, and you can't miss a video. It's so important to understand. With so much content on this channel, as this channel expands the next 90 days, You can't miss videos. You cannot miss videos. Even if you cannot watch it when it airs live, then come back later in the day and catch it, because there's a lot of breaking news and the content does not repeat on this channel. The channel's programming is now throughout the day. It starts every morning, mornings LA, early mornings LA, actually early mornings LA, every day at 4 a.m. Then mornings countdown at 7 a.m. Shows continue with mornings LA live on air at 9 a.m. Then we have home at 11 o'clock. Afternoons at 1, afternoons at 3, evenings at 5, then then countdown at 6, Street and Stimulus at 7, extra at 8, sunset at 9. And then the shows continue throughout the evening from 9 o'clock to the next morning at 4 a.m. A channel that cares about you, the viewers care about one each other, and together we keep the positivity here, we keep the information key, and we keep the analysis on point. Together we separate ourselves from the rest of the landscape. And the next 90 days, you can see a new look to this channel. Very exciting what's coming to this channel. It's going to give you more of what you need to learn to earn. More about it by the hour, by the moment. It's differentiating you from everyone else, differentiating this channel from everyone else as we head from number 3 to number 2. Our job is to make sure you learn where this economy is every night, learn where it's going, and get the big money that you can get. Have a beautiful night. Make sure you become a member. Go right to this channel right now and subscribe. Become a member. Join this channel and stay throughout the night as LALATE continues.